Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to this historic event. I know it's somewhat of a odd timing, 3 p.m. on a Wednesday. My name is Eddie Weathers. I have the honor of being the commander of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 572, Carolyn 5 Memorial Chapter here in Sierra Vista. With this responsibility, I have the honor of being the direct representative of Purple Heart recipients throughout Cochise County. In this country, we stand on the shoulders of giants. All of our progress, all of our accomplishments as a society, and all of our economic power are dependent on the peace and freedom that have been hard won by generations of American heroes. A hero is someone who puts aside their own self-interest, even to the point of their own life, to protect one another. America simply would not exist if it were not for heroes. We live and we prosper in a free country only because our liberty is continually defended. It is not because of where we are born or who our parents are or what government we have. It is a natural state of mankind to have free will. Each generation is challenged by forces for reasons of power, profit, or ideology that seek to enslave our fellow mankind. Over the years, many ways to keep these threats of freedom at bay have been developed. What it continually comes back to is the American Armed Forces, those who are willing to defend the people and the ideals of our nation against foreign threats. This comes even at the risk of their own survival. Throughout our history, American soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines have bravely faced battle many times and in many places. Let us never doubt that the world is watching and knows that our military is willing and able to take on whatever mission that our civilian leaders in Congress and the White House direct. I'd like this time to take a pause. If you would direct your attention, please, to the American flag on my right, your left. And I have the honor of introducing Master Sergeant Linda Brown, U.S. Army retired, who will sing our national anthem. Please rise. I'll be honest, to my great embarrassment, I was supposed to lead off with the national anthem, and I forgot. My apologies. I personally get very emotional in situations like this. Not only sometimes do I feel like I get undeserved recognition for quite literally being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But at the same time, it is extremely comforting to know that I have the opportunity to represent my fellow soldiers and Marines. I served in both the Marine Corps and the Army that did not make it home. Men and women that gave the ultimate sacrifice. In 1932, when General Douglas MacArthur revived the Purple Heart Medal, which traces lineage to the badge of military merit, which was created by General George Washington. General MacArthur's desire was to have the Purple Heart Medal represent one thing, and one thing alone, and that was sacrifice. Today, the Purple Heart is recognized the world over, and it represents one thing, the shedding of blood on a field of battle. Today, we gather here to recognize a specific category of heroes, those who have sacrificed upon that field of battle. Many of these men and women have returned from their service, wounded of body, mind, and spirit. Many of them maimed for life. All too many significantly disabled for the rest of their lives. Giving these heroes the mobility of something that most of us take for granted daily, the ability to drive. The vehicle sitting before us here today is a prime example of what is happening in our country today to our wounded veterans that turns a disability into an ability. As I stated earlier, we stand here today on the shoulders of giants. We stand on them and we are grateful. We will never forget, and we will continue. The men and women who have sacrificed on the field of battle are such giants. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Patriot Joseph Tidwell, National Polish Veterans Coordinator, Military Order of the Purple Heart. Patriot Tidwell, Vietnam veteran, disabled veteran, was wounded while serving with the 101st Airborne Division in Vietnam. Purple Heart Run, one that we started along with the Wounded Warrior Family Support Group. Was corrected, not the Wounded Warrior Project. They were the original Wounded Warrior Group. They are the Family Support Group. It's run by a Colonel Marine who was in Europe at the command. And he went down to the hospital as Desert Storm